Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of What If Sonic Died. This is a series where we take a look at the events of the main games to see how they may have changed if Sonic the Hedgehog had died during the end of Sonic Adventure 2 instead of Shadow. Last time we saw the alien invasion begin over Westopolis as Black Doom contacted Shadow, though in this timeline Shadow doesn't have amnesia, yet he still has no idea who this creature is. How will events change under these circumstances? Continue watching to find out. But before we get on to that, if you've enjoyed this series so far and want to see more, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and to share the video to those who might be interested. Alas, it's time to see how Shadow will act. The human city of Westopolis is besieged by the Black Arms invasion. The entire city has been put under lockdown by GUN. Only civilians have been allowed to exit, as the metropolitan area is being suppressed by GUN's forces. They move within Westopolis, trying to rout the alien forces. However, they prove more than capable at defeating humanity's strongest armaments. All the whiles, the city burns, ravaged by beams of light from the sky, and is torn piece by piece to reveal its secrets by the Black Arms. The military presence inside is undertaking a losing battle as the superior weapons of the aliens corner them, separate them, and ultimately snuff them out. We're being surrounded! Kevin is down! I'm out of ammo! Shadow the Hedgehog is already within, and he assists any human pockets of resistance he comes across as he looks for the source of the corruption. And that is no idle notion. A strange substance has been sighted at numerous locations of the city, left behind by the aliens for a purpose not yet understood. It is toxic to all life native to Earth, and those that get in contact die soon after. Alongside them are strange, glowing fruits, unknown if they serve as a food source or some other purpose, but just like the strange substance, they are indeed fatal to human life. A beam of light generates over a bridge, exploding moments after, leaving it untraversable, but for someone like Shadow, this is a mere leap over the gap. He lands and continues skating, looking around in the air to see if he can spot where the aliens are dropping from. The sky remains red and distorted with a vortex near the center. However, the amount of aliens falling through it have decreased since it first appeared. It's possible they've already spread enough throughout the city that they no longer require reinforcements. Oh, help us! Shadow's attention is drawn to the top of one of the skyscrapers nearby. A bunch of civilians had rushed to the top floor for safety, but they're now being hounded by aerial aliens. Seeing this, Shadow revs into a spin dash and launches up an upturned chunk of road, using it as a jump ramp, flying high up into the air as he collides into the back of one of these bat-like creatures, exploding it into a puff of green vaporized blood. As he's in the air, he unfurls from his ball and launches a chaos spear into the remaining ones in the area, coming to a soft landing once he's finished, besides the humans. GUN is locking down the city. Everyone's evacuating. You'll need to be fast if you want to make it in time. The aliens are relentless. The humans are grateful, though many are panicked. They try to get Shadow to stay with them, to escort them to the end, but he knows he can't afford the time. So, to the anger of some of them, he departs, continuing his search. He skates down into the center of the city, but calling it a city at this point might not be the best descriptor. The ground now is full of jagged concrete and even trenched up dirt, as the underlying structures beneath the city have been exposed and the standard pristine places people would once live their merry lives have been completely obliterated by alien bombardment. Right now, Shadow operates under the ground level, despite being exposed to the sky. Sewage pipes and all sorts of other things meant to remain unseen are fully out, damaged and broken around him. A group of aliens spot Shadow's approach and begin to open fire. but a blue blur dissipates their numbers within seconds, the final alien turning around to meet a giant signpost slamming straight into its face, either killing it or at the very least knocking it unconscious. Shadow comes to a halt, analysing the attacker, and coming up to him, tossing the stained sign to the floor, is none other than Metal Sonic. Good to see a friendly face around here. Metal Sonic gives Shadow a nod as they shake hands. I assume you have no idea what's going on with this invasion either. Again, Metal Sonic shakes his head, raising his arms to suggest that he is just as clueless as Shadow is. No matter. Any enemy we can face together is one that won't stand a chance. I'm looking for their source. I'm assuming we're nearby. Let's team up from here on out. Should be simple work. Metal Sonic gives a nod, clenching his fist in confidence. They leap out of the current trench they find themselves in, back onto the cracked streets of Westopolis. Oh! They hear the sound of some humans meeting their end, and they notice that on the highway that travels throughout the city, there's a strange vehicle, clearly alien in nature, gliding over the surface as gunfire hits it in the back. A couple vehicles manned by GUN are trying to pursue it, however this vehicle seems to operate with some powerful plasma weaponry as it blasts them to pieces, only a few swerving out the way to continue their pursuit. That seems important. Don't let it get away! Shadow uses his chaos powers to teleport up onto the highway, whilst Metal Sonic just boosts over to it, and they join the pursuit against this strange alien tank. Despite its size, it's fast enough to give Metal Sonic and Shadow some trouble keeping up, though they're certainly doing better than the remaining GUN vehicles. Shadow flings a Chaos Spear into its side, but instead of impacting the vehicle, a field of energy seems to appear for a moment as it dissipates the Chaos Spear. What the? Then a tractor beam appears from the sky and blasts the highway, completely negating traversal. The tank, which can fly, continues on, but the GUN soldiers are forced to stop. Metal Sonic and Shadow intend to follow it across this gap, but a pulse is sent from the vehicle, emitting a strange wave that once it collides over Shadow, causes a nauseistic headache, and he drops down below the road. Metal Sonic is unaffected by this, and remains in pursuit of the vehicle. Meanwhile, Shadow crashes down into a large puddle of that strange substance. Much to his own surprise, once Shadow collides with this strange liquid, he's unharmed. Not just from its apparent toxic qualities, but from the fall itself. It's as if it cushioned him. He's completely fine. He stands up, examining it as it trickles down his gloves back onto the floor. But his moment of thought won't last for long. Shadow! Looking up, a squid-like figure arrives in front of him. The same creature that had first approached him at the beginning of this invasion. You again! Shadow clenches his fist. You made a mistake coming here. Why do you defy me, Shadow? You got to be kidding me! You're the one attacking my planet. Strange. I would have thought Gerald would have done a better job at educating you on the matter. How do you know the Professor? What's he got to do with any of this? Mind your tongue. Your insolence will be pardoned this one time. Your mission is to retrieve the Chaos Emeralds and bring them to me. Do not falter again. You're costing my army its efficiency. Why would I ever work for you? There is another Chaos Emerald in this city. We are retrieving it. Ensure the humans do not reclaim it. The creature then flies away, disappearing into the dark sky. Meanwhile, Metal Sonic is still in pursuit of the alien tank. He lacks any ranged projectiles to deal damage, so instead he kicks his core into overdrive, coating himself in a gold-orange light as he flies past the tank and then turns around, colliding straight into its front. He thuds into it with all of his might, pushing against it, halting its momentum as it slows down, but the tank is revving as hard as it can against Metal Sonic. Another pulse emanates from the tank, and moments later, some of the black-armed soldiers in the area have closed in, and start firing at Metal Sonic. In an attempt to defend himself, he kicks in the black shield, making him immune from harm as he smashes into the side of the vehicle. However, he's unable to change his positioning from this point on, and the tank seems to catch on, halting momentum as it turns around to fly past Metal Sonic. But he can't let go without risk of being shredded to pieces by the amount of alien fire the nearby soldiers are throwing onto him. GUN troops are in the vicinity, opening fire on the tank, but their bullets do little against its field. At this moment, Shadow catches up and observes the scene. Remembering how his Chaos Spear had little effect, he decides to use a different plan. He finds a destroyed Jeep nearby with a mounted minigun turret, and he rips it off with his superior strength and opens fire on the tank as he chases after it. The bullets may not do a lot, but there's a lot of them firing in a short amount of time, and it causes the field around the tank to start flashing, as Shadow was hoping. With enough firepower, the shield dissipates completely, and without wasting a moment, Shadow uses his chaos powers to teleport right on top of the tank, and clasping his emerald, Chaos Blast! Detonating the tank as it explodes into smithereens. Chunks of black, cold metal crash onto the floor or drop down beside the highway. Green blood pools from the center as what once were the occupants are reduced to mere liquid. Shadow, in the center of the smoke, launches chaos spears towards the aliens that were shooting at Metal Sonic, ending them instantly, allowing him to turn off his shield. The gun soldiers that are still alive cheer with the tank destroyed, but Shadow notices near his feet is the glowing sign of a Chaos Emerald. Perhaps this is the one the alien was referring to. Either way, it's his now. He picks it up and stows it away with the other one. But then a gun soldier calls out and points to the sky. A large winged blob of a creature descends towards them from the clouds, its singular large eye fixated on Shadow and the Chaos Emerald. It launches a strange energy wave from its body that causes the nearby buildings to break, their windows shattering in sequence, raining dangerous glass down to those below. Metal Sonic does his best to guard the humans with his own body. Meanwhile, Shadow engages the enemy. You think you can compare to me? He grabs both Chaos Emeralds and unleashes their power. A blinding light emits from Shadow, with numerous explosions accompanying it. Once the light fades, Shadow's holding an elongated Chaos Spear that he swings in a hefty arc across this creature, immediately decapitating one of its wings, forcing its body to crash straight into the ground. Shadow follows it down there, holding this spear now and thrusting it straight into its eye, causing the entire thing to explode and the body to dissolve from the sheer amount of chaos energy discharged through it. With a smirk on his face, Shadow goes up to Metal Sonic. Good job with the tank. The gun soldiers point their weapons towards Shadow. Keep your hands in the air. You're under arrest. You've got to be kidding me. Don't move! We have orders to bring you in. Orders from who? It's on a need-to-know basis, sir. Please, we don't want to cause you any undue harm. You dare threaten me after what I've just done for you? The laughter of the strange squid creature echoes in Shadow's mind as it appears before him, floating up in the sky. I see you found a Chaos Emerald, Shadow. It can still be prevented from landing in the human's hands. He's communicating with the alien! Open fire! Enough. A flash of light overcomes Shadow, and in an instant, he's been transported to another area. He's no longer in Westopolis. Instead, the surroundings are that of a canyon, and he finds himself on some mossy ruins. He shakes his head. That sensation, it almost felt like it was, perhaps now you'll be less rebellious. There is another Chaos Emerald in this area. You will retrieve it to prevent it from ending in humans' hands. You don't tell me what to do. Yes, I suppose the humans would after all, wouldn't they? Things may not be as they seem, Shadow. You do not know the full truth. Bring me the emeralds, and you will see. And the creature flies away. Damn it! I don't understand. How does this creature know so much about my past? And why on earth did Gun open fire on me? I'm wanted? None of this makes sense. But perhaps getting the Chaos Emeralds would be an easy way to resolve this. If they are only after them and not the world, it will be easier to control the invasion if I have what they're looking for. Undecided, but determined, Shadow looks ahead and begins his journey through these ruins. What secrets lie within the ancient stone of the ruins? Only time may tell, but not today, for this brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed Shadow's excursions throughout Westopolis, as well as perhaps taking note of some slight differences compared to the source material that are emerging. All will be revealed in due time. But with that said and done, thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. If you did enjoy your time here, please leave a like, comment and subscribe to help out the channel, and don't forget to share the video around so that more people may discover this tale. I hope you have a great day, and to see you next time. This is the Mighty Emperor signing off.